Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing great. Today, I'm going to show you an interesting example of creating a post method request in Fireback and projects written in Fireback. Though the post methods are usually very simple to do, there's not much to talk about it, but I want to actually show you what are the default features comes with the every request in Fireback and how it helps the front-end developers to have much more flexibility when needed. Bear with me a few minutes and you will see like how interesting details has been covered. Let's go and create, without further ado, kind of a project. I want to try to download a version of the Fireback. What we're gonna do it, basically maybe it's better to even go github.com and Torabian, which is my account, and then Fireback. So this video is not about talking Fireback and what it is and what is the purpose of it. So a lot of videos I've created. There are lots of content. We're just gonna do and go very detailed in the post request today. So I'm gonna take out this link to microservice boilerplate. So all you need to do is basically just go and get this folder and start your project. So I'm gonna unzip this folder and you see there is a Fireback microservice boilerplate in it. So let's go and do a make, which will which will create the folder for binaries for us, like any other projects, and then it's gonna put it in the root, and you see like there is a microservice boilerplate with some things in it, and we're gonna go and create a very simple post request. Now, in the example comes something called a book module. So it's a definition of an entity which is called book, has a title, page count, ISBN. And what I'm going to do is just to save this file. Still, I assume you already know these things about Fireback, and then it's going to create this entity and all of those things for me. One another step is to go and add it to the entity bundle, and I'm gonna go to the main and add this as a module to this project. So this module setup, setup should be fine, and then I'm gonna put a nil in it and save this as well. So let's go and rebuild the project, remake it, and what we did in the meantime, I want to explain. We create entity in a database called book. Assume we're going to store thousands of books information in a database and then create them, read them, query them, something like that. It's like a CRUD operation in very simple words we have created. Okay, I'm going to initialize a dev environment for this. Use SQLite and do silent, and then migrations run SSL nothing. And we see, yeah, our book is here. It's in the project. So I go to the book query, and there is nothing. The reason for that is the book is the module, and then again, the book is the entity. So you might want to modify the names and those things. And again, that's not the purpose of this video. Let's go start the server. We see there are books already created, and then we can go to Postman and like always create a book. Let the Postman come up for a second. I think would be fine. I'm gonna put it that way. Let's minimize this if you can see that. And yeah, I already was fiddling with this before the video, but I can go and just do another sample. So let's go create a JSON object in it, and we post it. You see there is a validation message coming back, and that is you have the title is required, because based on the definition on the book we had in the YAML file, this was required. And here we see the error. And I'm gonna put this title as like Ali1, and I'm gonna put a comma here to break it. And hold on a second, we need to see. And all right, and I'm gonna put it this way. Okay, so you see now I broke the JSON and it tells me where exactly it's happening. All right, okay, something else going on. Let's forget about that for a second. We go to this thing and we try to post it. So it says JSON malformed, right? And it tells you that there's something issue in column 1, offset 23, line whatsoever. It's important to understand that Fireback tries to give you very comprehensive knowledge of the issues you might hit. So another thing is there's a page count, right? And I'm gonna put the page count to like 54, whatever. And again, we have this issue, throws an error for us. And now it's successfully created it. Now, if I go and do this as a string, it says JSON invalid field type and says expected type int64 and got a string on this exact where it has happened. And it gives you actually a lot of more information. So as a front-end developer, you're not going to go and fight and figure out where the issue is. And that's going to accelerate things for you a lot. Now, one thing is, you see there is a form data option here, right? And then when you go to the form data option, and then you can create a title. Maybe just real quick to show you what happens here. Actually, I want to make sure these books are being stored. Yeah, you see like this page count 54, they are being created. Let's wipe them and go back to our workspace, to our, Postman. Now, okay. So another method of sending is the form data, right? And we can say Ali's form data book, all right? And then do a send. And you see still it accepts. And that's very interesting because the same thing, the same endpoint which accepts this JSON also accepts form data without you specifying that you need it. So if your front-end code needs to use form data for something, it's gonna right away work, and it's very interesting and powerful tool for that. Another thing is there is an option called www form URL encoded, which sometimes you do a post back call to endpoints, and I'm gonna do it like with that as well. Another book, and I'm gonna send it, and you see that another book is also being created. So the same endpoint accepts form data and then form URL encoded. Now, one interesting thing is if you say the page count is 100 here, it's gonna send it as a string. And at version Fireback 1.2.3, you need to figure that out by yourself. So if you have numeric values, you can't right away use it. And it just works very fine for the string types still. Going back to the raw option is we tested the JSON, but very interesting though, again, is if you send an XML, and let's call it root, and call the title XML book, and we save it, you see the XML book is also being created. So if the request is an XML file, it's also being accepted. And the interesting thing is that doesn't have the issue or limitations of the form data, which are all string. So you can send the page count as well in the same time. As you notice, the page count is also being saved. Now, initially you saw that there is an option called like YAML, and it's very interesting. I want to show you. If you set the title as Ali, Obviously, this is a wrong XML because we said it's a XML. What we're gonna do is to make a text and then go to the headers and then set this as a YAML. So you can say the content is a YAML and it's gonna again work. So the same endpoint accepts form data, URL encoded, JSON, XML, and YAML without you writing actually any code for it. And it's extremely helpful. Now, one more thing which I like to show you is if I go on and create another thing, say ali.yml, and then paste this in, save it, and come back, and I just choose binary instead, and select file, and yeah, I go to the demo and Fireback, and obviously the file we created, which I really forgot, ali.yml. Again, you see the ali has been created. So if you have a giant JSON file, you just put it in there, post it, and it works right away. This is all I wanted to share about this mechanism works on the Fireback and how useful it can be actually, because it helps you a lot to move forward. It just build it once and you don't need to give might make your mind very busy with that details, and all of them are automatically created for you. Yeah, thank you for paying attention. I hope that would be very useful to some level, at least for the topic. See you.